Welcome to my show. I'm Dr. Gupta. I'm a sexologist and I'm practicing for 40 years in Delhi and Calcutta. Today, we are going to talk about the sexual problems of women. So let's come up with what is the most common problem of maximum women in India. Can you guess? It is porn addiction of their husbands. So many people are now getting porn addicted through their mobiles. They will watch the porn one after the another. They will masturbate and go to sleep. They are not bothered about their wife. They think that they have done their work, they have provided for the family, and now it's time for them to enjoy self on itself. So porn addiction is becoming a biggest problem of wife. Anna Hazare says that it is alcohol addiction is very painful for wife. But before the alcohol addiction comes, today's most prominent feature is the porn addiction. And I'm surprised that no government, no leaders, no political will is there to stop the porn addiction. Possibly all the political leaders are also porn addicted. Porn addiction has got many side effects, or we can say the negative effects. The biggest negative effect is ignorance of wife, sexually and emotionally. The guy addicted to the porn is not emotionally attached to the wife. I can tell you one case story. The husband will watch the porn in the morning, will masturbate. Afternoon he comes back home for lunch. Again he will watch the porn and masturbate. In the night he will watch porn for long hours and masturbate. Occasionally visits other women also, because the porn incites you to visit other girls who will act like a porn movie star. And that is the biggest problem for the wife, because for last 2 years they do not have any sexual or physical contact. Let's forget about the sexual or physical contact. They do not have an emotional attachment as well. Nobody talks to each other emotionally. When did she heard the word I love you from her husband? The woman said, in 13 years of marriage, my husband is addicted to porn for last 8 years, and maybe I forget whenever he has ever told me that, except in the beginning or before the marriage. So this is the extent of porn addiction. Porn addiction has got other side effects as well. The concentration on work, career also goes down by this man. He loses financially, career-wise. He destroys his own health because he's so engrossed in porn that he's not keeping a balanced life. So we'll say the porn addiction of the husband is the biggest problem now. Alcohol addiction is much easier to tackle than the porn addiction. Alcoholic people do not ignore their wife's emotional needs. They are attached to their wife emotionally. They perform, but the contribution to the family is little. In the porn addiction case, the contribution to the family is sufficient, but with no attachment emotionally, even with the children or his own siblings. The man seems to be more or less engrossed in himself. So we come to this point. Second point is a vaginal infection. Most women suffer from white discharges, and this is a vaginal infection. Could be bacteria, virus, or certain kind of a mixed between virus and bacteria called trachomatis. So this is another problem. Third problem is the diabetes. Because of the diabetes, the vaginal sensation goes down and she cannot enjoy her orgasm. The Muslim woman has a fear always in her mind. If she is unable to satisfy the husband will behave rudely with her. So that fear takes away her pleasure in the sexual life. Because the Muslim women are not independent, they are dependent on their husband and family, they have more problems to face. They have to forget about their own sexuality and sexual mentality. In Hindu cases, the women do go out for work in large numbers in almost all households. But again, they come back home tired, work in the home and they work in the office. They are too exhausted to even participate in sex. That's another problem, because that leads to an internal frustration which cannot be taken out by going to the movies or going for a vacation. That needs a very high quality time with her partner. And the concept of a very high quality time with the partner is not there in our Indian society or Indian culture. So this is another problem. That was a third problem which I mentioned. And the foremost problem is about her breast or the thigh size or the body image problems. Most women do not agree or accept their body as it is. So that makes them shy, that makes them less courageous, that makes them less sexual and whatnot. And the fifth problem, of course, is the communication. Both the husband and wife are unable to communicate about their sexual need, about their sexual fantasies, or about how to go about the sexual performance. So here we stand. These are the 5 top problems a woman in India faces today. But fortunately, we have solution for all. A porn addiction needs a lot of counseling. Like we have to ask the husband, you watch porn, what makes you excited? Because you are watching the same scene again and again. So after some time the excitement is bound to fall. So what is there that is taking you away from your own performance? He says, watching the rounded breast of the stars is giving me kick. But that is not true. He has conditioned his mind to watch the breasts or the body of the porn star. The conditioning can be deconditioned. Well, what will happen if you don't watch a porn one day or do not watch porn for some days or week? What will happen if you exercise instead of watching the porn? So there are a lot of questions that we have to go through with the patient in the process of counseling, and the matter is improved. Vaginal infections needs immediate attention. Otherwise, they will erode the cervix and the vaginal infections will go deeper. Many a times husband comes and claim that they have an infection at the tip of the penis. This is nothing because of the white discharge or vaginal infection of their wives. So the vaginal infection or the white discharge is easily diagnosable and treatable. But both the partners should be treated simultaneously. Let's come to the alcoholic addiction. Alcohol addiction, again, by counseling it is substituted. It can be replaced by another good activities. Alcohol addiction is normally because of a friend circle. People normally drink in a friend circle and then tend to drink more. But once the friend circle is curtailed, the person devotes his time towards his career activity, physical activity, the amount of addiction reduces and he returns back to his wife. There are treatment available for all things. Diabetes can be controlled and the woman can be made to climax. There are some women, because of diabetic conditions or mental trauma or mental frustration or mental depression, are unable to feel any sensation during sex. They are treatable conditions. But you have to take the first step. The first step in getting well is to accept that you have a problem. The second step is to expect that a doctor will treat you of all these things. The third step is taking an appointment, and the fourth step is meeting the doctor. The rest is follow the doctor's instructions. So, my friends, you can improve the quality of your life if your wife is able to orgasm. And my friends, my dear sisters, you can improve the quality of your life. You can add meaning to your life once you have an orgasm. Basically, enjoying an orgasm is the basic motive of a woman marries. Of course, there is a second motive also, to get a solution to her sexual needs and sexual problems. And because a woman always have a high sex desire, that leads a woman to marry. A woman with low sex desire have no need to marry. So this is the point all husbands should keep in mind, that sex is a two-way process. One-way process never works. And today we have a lot of medicines, we have a lot of experience, we have an experience with counseling, we have an experiences of all kind to solve the problem. And it won't take long, just a matter of few months, 1 or 2, and you will have a meaningful life. That's all I wanted to talk today in this particular session. Thank you so much. Namaskar.